Hi there, my name is Dylan, Product Manager here at AirDNA, and I'm excited to give a quick overview on the Property Manager tool. So what is the Property Manager tool? This is a new tool. We're really excited to have rolled it out earlier this year in 2025. It's geared specifically for property managers, and it helps you to expand into new markets, to acquire new listings, to figure out which listings are best for your portfolio. And then once you have and you're operating properties, it helps with benchmarking and comparing the performance of those properties against the competition. So I'll start here with the home page. This is a new page. It's totally dedicated and synced to your property management company. Onboarding is really easy. There isn't any kind of cumbersome onboarding process. You just kind of hook up, let us know your logos, your name, and you're off and running. So I'll start here with the homepage. This is really a quick snapshot on my portfolio. So my property management company in this scenario is Homebase. This is the number of properties I manage. This is the average reviews that I have. I'll get more into this, but reviews, as you'll see, is a really big recurring theme throughout the dashboard. And these are the active markets that I'm in. So there's a lot you can do here on the homepage. It's kind of a jumping off point throughout the rest of the app. I've got my saved items. I've got data on the markets that I care about. Also the submarkets, markets that I've saved and are potentially thinking about expanding into. I can drill into each one of these. This is the first kind of snapshot on reviews, which I'll get more into, but this is basically a month by month rundown on my property's Airbnb reviews over time, right? So I can clearly see how that overall value, communication, cleanliness is trending over time and kind of identify areas for opportunity and for celebration. There's pacing insights in here. There's now comparisons as well to other property managers. So there's a ton that's packed into the homepage. After that, we've got our kind of market insights. So we've got find a market, which should feel familiar. If you're familiar with AirDNA, this is kind of a jumping off point to find which market is best for your property management company. And then here within market insights, I'll move this guy over. You can see now drilling down to specific insights on any market, right? So you can click into any market. I'll go ahead and click into Tulsa, and now I'll be within market overview and I'm exploring Tulsa. So we've got all the valuable information on listings, occupancy, revenue rates, top submarkets, top short-term rentals, now getting into property level stuff, and for sale properties as well. After that, we have Rentalizer. So if you're not familiar, earlier this year, we also gave a huge facelift to Rentalizer, importantly with the ability to customize comps. So I won't go into too much detail here, but basically you can run a Rentalizer report, you can type in an address, and now you can customize the comps that power that report, right? So I can decide which of the properties I want to power that report. I can click customize comps. I get brought over to this kind of new experience where I can set filters, I can remove and add different comps according to however I want to manage things. So this is absolutely included in the PM tool. Separately, we have comp sets as well. So one thing is kind of starting from Rentalizer, that you can start with an address, but we can also start from a blank slate of comp sets as well, right? So I can go to comp sets, I can create a new comp set from scratch and kind of get started that way. Also importantly for PMs, I want to call out is the ability to create branded PDFs. So we've always had the PDF download here that you can use in your acquisition efforts and your sales efforts. Now you'll have the ability to put your logo on the top of those branded PDFs. So obviously that goes a long way in establishing you as the trusted manager. And it looks a little bit more white labeled and branded. So that's unique to the PM tool. Beyond that, I'll move through here. We've got the advanced research section. So if the market insight section is kind of all deep dive on a specific market, everything in advanced research is now market agnostic, right? So we've got advanced insights. You can kind of think of advanced insights as a starting ground for research from scratch, right? So if you want to look at multiple markets, any kind of cut of comp sets or listings or performance or time series over time, this is a place where you can do that, right? So this is now just showing me literally a performance of every single listing in the United States. You can switch countries, obviously, of course, but we've got line charts, we've got year-over-year charts, We've got really valuable heat maps to kind of identify opportunities. So if you're looking to see, how much the difference between 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms make in different markets, you can kind of edit these axes and manipulate this chart in a bunch of creative ways. So that's advanced insights. We've got all short-term rental properties. This is really, really powerful. This is effectively your go-to comps research tool in AirDNA. So this will obviously take a second to load if it's loading over 2 million listings. But basically, this is the home base for property managers to identify underperforming or mismanaged listings, right? So a common use case here will be to use these filters here across the top to go ahead and filter for maybe properties that are not professionally managed, that don't have great reviews, right? Maybe they're only up until a 4.6 rating, they don't have a ton of reviews, maybe they're not using dynamic pricing, right? And go ahead and click apply and everything will update accordingly. So this effectively becomes a leads list for you to reach out to these potential managers, to these owners. You've got like 40 columns of data that runs across here. And importantly, we've got the lat long as well, which obviously helps you back into owner contact information and everything like that. So that's all short-term rental properties. Next, we have the property manager analysis page. This is a full table view, a rundown of every single property manager and host ID in the country that you're looking at. So this is a great place to compare the last 12 months performance of you as a property manager against other property managers. You can track listings over time. You can filter down by specific market to see kind of how that's performing. There's a ton of creative use cases for this page. And we also have the ability to click out to the property manager website and their Airbnb host ID. There are scenarios where we have it and we don't have it for property. We have it most of the time, but really valuable to kind of conduct additional research, especially if you're in an M&A motion and you're looking to dig more into that property manager. And then lastly here, we've got all for sale properties. This is similar to the market insights version, but now we're looking at the entire United States. So if you are in kind of a property management and investment use case, this is a great section here to figure out which properties are best. And feels minor, but we did just roll out the ability to filter by yield. So now this is filtering for properties that have the highest yield in any market. And so really powerful to kind of look into and dig into which properties are gonna make the most. Next, really excited to talk through reviews and policies. So this is a net new page for property managers to look at the performance of your portfolio over time, and importantly, to compare that performance against the competition. So what we have here is the ability to select a property manager. I can select me, or I can select any other property manager that I would want to do. I could anything else that we have logged. You can select a date range. You can drill down into specific listings, into markets, attributes, etc. And now I'm seeing a snapshot summary of the Airbnb reviews for that segment that I filtered down to. I have the performance of that over time. I have breakdowns by star rating. So how many 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, etc. did I get last month? And then importantly, we now have this comparison modal. So now I have the ability to say, hey, how am I doing as home base against Evolve, for example, and Vacasa, for example. I can also filter into or compare against comp sets that I've previously created, save filters, saved markets, anything like that. I'll go ahead and click apply. And now what this essentially does is plots those bars next to my bars to give me a clean snapshot on how the reviews differ across each of these subsets. So I can clearly see, hey, I'm falling behind, and overall, maybe my communication is a little better, my location, etc. We also have how those same comparisons are over time. And we now have just released the policy comparisons. So everything else on this page is very reviews oriented, but now we've got all of these 5 different policies where you can select the same subset of competitors or any other competitors and see how your cleaning fee compares to them. So now this is showing me the bedroom breakout. So what am I charging for cleaning fee for my bedrooms compared to my two bedrooms compared to the 2 bedrooms in my competition. We have cancellation policies. So a little bit intense to look at first, but a really good breakdown on the cancellation policy of my portfolio compared to the competition. So it looks like, Evolve has more strict 1 bedrooms than I do. Maybe that's an area for me to improve, or maybe it's something that I, have conviction in and I don't particularly want to change, etc. We've got minimum stay. Same sort of thing. Am I doing more 1 or 2 night minimum stays versus larger? We've got monthly and weekly discounts. This one's really compelling. So quickly see what you're offering as a weekly discount and a monthly discount compared to your competition. A lot of property managers are kind of just setting these as 10% and 20% randomly and not really analyzing how the competition is doing. And then we've got pet policies and pet friendliness as well. We've got a full list here as well of all the top properties that I manage, or all the properties that I manage. And the main use case here is being able to sort by rating during the period. So I can quickly come into this and see which properties are performing least or performing worse during that period. I can sort and rank however I want. And then lastly, we've got all the written reviews for the properties I manage. So I can go ahead and click view all reviews. I can sort this and kind of see all the reviews that I'm getting through Airbnb. Last section I'm going to give some special shout outs to is our new Pacing Insights page. So Pacing Insights is basically the ability to view future data for any subset of any property manager or any listings over time compared to the same date last year. So what we have here are the markets that I have listings in. It defaults to the 6 markets that I have listings in. I can select a date range, look over the next 180, 90. I can do a custom date range. I can now filter down into a portfolio within that market if I want to look at only 3 bedrooms performance or 2 bedrooms, etc. And now what this is going to show is the market outlook compared to previous year, right? So I can see how much is the average property making over the next 90 days in this market, and how's that doing compared to last year, occupancy, etc. So this is a great place really for your own, obviously, internal analysis, but also owner conversations and owner management as well, right? If you're able to clearly see that, hey, in your specific market over the next date range, maybe you only want to grab over the holidays, or the market as a whole is underperforming compared to last year. Maybe things are down 10 or 20%. That gives you some great data to speak to the homeowners if they maybe have concerns around bookings for the future, that they're not getting booked at the same rate. This is a really quick and easy way for you to grab a screenshot and send it over to the homeowner to ease their concerns. And then lastly on this page, we now have a day-by-day pacing view. So this is kind of the aggregate. Now I can clearly see I'm on occupancy over into the future. How is occupancy doing for that market, for that subset over the future? So you can see this, you can see rates. Are people charging more or less than they were last year? Demand, revenue, RevPAR, etc. So a ton of useful information packed in here. This is all contained within the operate and benchmark section. I'll hold off on going into more detail there. This becomes especially more powerful if you are an uplisting customer. If you sign on with the uplisting PMS, that unlocks access to my listings, a performance dashboard, comp calendar, and a ton of other kind of operate and benchmark features. So I hope this was a good quick overview on the Property Manager tool. Thanks so much.